Good morning, YouTube. Oh, it's early. Got my big old mug here, coffee. And that's the only reason I wake up in the morning. Quiet, coffee, guitar. What am I going to tell you guys about? I'm working police department tonight for a little while, filling in. Living my childhood dream. Always wanted to be a cop. Always wanted to be a firefighter. Always want to be somebody. When you grow up as and I've touched on this, when you grow up as nobody and you're reminded constantly you're nobody and you're not going to be nobody, anybody, that was horrible. Yeah, you're going to go up and be a nobody. And you're encouraged as you're going that way. I say encouraged. There's absolutely no consequences to being a piece of shit growing up like I grew up. It was a stabbing in the neighborhood about 2 houses down from where I grew up, 3 houses, whatever. It was the popular house. We would call the police, act like there's a big fight. We would all run to that house. Terrorize the whole neighborhood. So it doesn't. Oh, that itches. So it doesn't surprise me that that house is still the hub of trouble. Man, people I run with, it's their grandkids doing it. Their grandkids are still terrorizing that same house. Completely acceptable because there's no consequence. And I think, looking back, I think that as long as you don't do better than your parents, as long as your parents think that they did better than you, then they think in their mind they haven't failed you. I don't understand the mentality. But with that in mind, um, today I'm talking about Kirby Byington, Willie Pondexter, the house on Birch Street, my house today, and the car wash fight. Kirby, Willie, the house on Birch, my house, the car wash fight. Willie Pondexter, I met in the 4th grade when I moved back here from Broken Bow. If y'all know Willie, if y'all know any of the Pondexters, Willie and Roy were a different branch off of a tree. Let's put it that way. Roy was quick to fight, hot tempered. Man, I wasn't. Roy and Willie's in the same grade because Roy got held back one grade. And there's a bunch of Pondexters. And I'm not saying Willie and Roy weren't good guys. I'm saying today, if you meet any of the Pondexters, that family, and maybe some of the grandkids are different, I don't know. But the brothers and sisters that I grew up with, the nicest, most polite, humblest, well raised, literally salt of the earth, the best country people, nice as you could ask for. And Willie was nice as you could ask for it to me. And this is a different time. This was early 80s, so I have to, it bears mentioning, I should say. Willie was black as coal, and here I am, poor white trash. We weren't raised in the same neighborhood. He was raised out in the country, and I was raised in the ghetto. Literally, it's still the ghetto. And we just kind of hit it off. Best friends, 4th grade, 5th grade. I remember specifically in 6th grade class when Shane Wherry and I, and if you know Big Shane, good God, he's always been big. That's a whole different story. We got into it, and he kept just slapping me in the back of the head because he's a great big black dude, and I'm a little bit skinny white dude. And I can't stand being hit in the head. To this day, it's just instant fight, which that's a different story as well. And Shane just kept, and I said, dude, I swear to God, I'm teacher and all, if you hit me again, I'm going to come unglued and I'm going to beat you to death in this chair. And he did. He hit me again. And I did exactly what I said I would do. And y'all remember I'm telling my age here, the chairs that you slide, the seats you slide in, the desk part is made into it, and you got your armrest if you're right-handed, if you're left-handed. I was in the right-hand chair, and Shane was behind me in the right-hand chair. So when I come around to his left side, and and Shane's so big, when he turned, he was stuck, and I wore his ass out. And Willie was in that class, me and Shane and Willie and a whole bunch of us, and I wore his ass. He couldn't get up. I was raining on him. Got outside, got some licks. The teacher had seen he'd been hitting me, so no big deal. Well, Shane and I was going to fight because now I had my confidence up. I'm going to beat his big ass again, first chance I get. Willie come to me and said, look, Roger, there's something you don't know about this. Shane's not going to be the one doing it. He's got 3 of his buddies. And they're all 3 going to jump on you. At the time, I had no idea that's just how it goes. I mean, I was ghetto, but I wasn't that ghetto. I was used to the one-on-one. You know, I wasn't used to somebody going and getting somebody 2 or 3 people, whatever. But I beat him up bad enough. He didn't want no more. He was going to get 2 or 3 people. Like it was going to be me and him, and then they were going to get me from behind. I said, oh. And Willie kind of let me know, hey, that's the plan. That's what's going to happen. But that's not what's going to happen. He's like, I showed up, 100%. Showed up exactly what he said was going to happen. I took off. I didn't let nobody, wasn't no circling. He was going to let me circle on these other 2 people, 3 people, whoever's going to grab me. And nope. I took off after Shane. One of the other dudes grabbed me. Willie took off after him. Another dude jumped in. Roy took off after him. It was a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. And the dude that Roy got a hold of, or maybe 2 dudes, they got the worst by far. We was pulling Roy off of them. But that's just, that's who Willie was. I say was because he's not with us anymore. He got Roy. Roy passed away while we was in school. I'll leave that at that. And Willie changed after that. Like Roy was his very best friend, like almost like they were twins. And then Willie changed after that, and he went off the gang life, and basically I did too. But I'm in the ghetto. He's not. So he went out of town to join the gang life and got real serious with it. I stayed in town, did the whole gang thing, whatever. I was a kid, 16, 17, 18, whatever. During the gang thing, I knew Kirby forever and ever and ever. Kirby Byington, if you know that name. Kirby, man, there's a bunch of us. Kirby took to the gang life that we were all a part of, and just like made it everything. It wasn't enough just to be part of it, or just to be. There was no leader. There was no nothing. Like we all just collectively got together, 4 of us, and said, "Hey, this is what's going to happen." And basically, we were pieces of that basically terrorized Ash Street and anybody that come down Ash Street, young or old or visitor or lived there. We just terrorized everybody because we were stupid kids. On our way to the pen, we all knew it. We was all going to go to the pen. We were all okay with that. It's just how it was at that time. That's our mentality. I don't know how much time Kirby wound up getting, but I think I can't find him in the system. I know exactly what. There's a documentary about Willie. I think Kirby, because he's Indian, I think he got moved to federal because of McGirt. So I can't find him. So I'm pretty sure he's doing federal time because he's Indian. The house on Birch Street. The house on Birch Street was basically, for lack of a better way to explain it, was the Al Qaeda training grounds. Um, Not because I'm white. No, I mean, white has never got me anything, 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 except shit for being white and being raised by Indians in a black neighborhood. It absolutely got me some attention. Not the kind you want. Because you're hanging out with a party and it's nothing but Indians and blacks, and you pop up like a marshmallow, talking exactly like they talk, saying exactly what they say, calling each other exactly what they say, what they call each other. Never been a problem. It's not the word you say, like today, oh, you can't say, I can say anything I want to, anytime I want to. And I will and I do. It's just how it is. Nobody's going to make up some rule that says, oh, I can say this, but you can't. Nope. You got the wrong one. You're not going to tell me nothing. It's not what you say, it's how you mean it. You can come to me and say, hey, boy. I'll be like, hey, man, what's going on? You can come in and say, hey, boy, and now we got a problem. It's the exact same word. That's how you mean it. You can say, hey, shit, you got punk. Stop it. And be like, hey, man. You say, hey, punk, we got a problem. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And back then, that was me. It wasn't a front. It wasn't a game. That's who I was. I was a thug, ghetto, piece of nothing, trash, shit, kid. I didn't mean any disrespect, calling anybody anything. That's just what we said. That's what I did. That's just who I was. And I was equally as much as anything a thug as anybody else, maybe more. I wasn't a leader by any means. It's just kind of when I said stuff happened type thing. I digress. The house on Birch Street was the stomping grounds for all things bad. We would meet up there, meet up in my room, maybe smoke some weed, drink, whatever, go terrorize the neighborhood. We couldn't ever run back to my house. We couldn't. That was not, no cops at my house. Don't bring no cops in my house. Don't ever do that. But we could all meet up there, leave, and go terrorize everybody else's house on Birch Street, Ash Street. That happened all the time. But at the same time, my dad kind of, it was kind of a safe space for all the kids in the neighborhood. Believe it or not, there's a lot of kids in the ghetto that have no supervision, that have no place to go lay down and be safe. They have no place to go to get away from whoever's drunk and trying to fight or beat on them, or have no place to go to get something to eat the fourth week of the month because the food done ran out. That was my dad's house. It was like if you needed a place to come crash out, we'd make a pallet on the floor. Guy, girl, black, white, Indian, Mexican, didn't make a shit. I can specifically remember exactly who I slept out in the garage with. Black guy, myself, Indian guy, Indian half Mexican. We all four was in the same exact pallet, cold as hell, cuddled up in there was no place left in the house. Cold as hell. Slept all night long. That was my dad's house. It was always a safe space. As bad as it was, as little as we had, we always had room, whatever. And that was my dad's house. As rough as it was, he had the best heart, but the worst ability, if that makes sense. If you go to my house I'm at my house. You walk around in front right now, it looks like a damn car lot. I have got 1, 2, 3. My truck, her car, Alex, Ethan, Seth, Bryce, and God knows who else, and then Alex's friend. At any given time, it's no big deal to have 8 or 9 cars in front of my house. My truck, my wife's car, everybody else's kids and their friends because it's a safe space. I go right now. Alex will have a friend over. They'll be in her room. Ethan will have a friend over. He might be asleep in a chair on the couch. We've got a mattress downstairs. We've got this whole 1, 2, 3, 4. We can sleep 5 people easily. 6 they want to sleep on a pool table, and they do it all the time. My house has become the safe space. I just happen to be able to provide a little bit better than my dad did. And again, don't bring no cops to my house. I'm a cop. Don't bring no cops to my house. I have nothing to hide. I just don't want the bullshit that goes along with cops showing up at my house. We're a zero drama facility. We're not a Al Qaeda training grounds. We're not, and we never will be. Don't bring no cops to my house. Don't come to my house fighting. Speaking of fighting, the car wash fight. Getting there, it's a long one. Kirby Byington, Willie Pondexter, the house on Birch Street, my house. The car wash fight. I cannot. One guy was really, really tall and skinny, and I think he was already, this is in junior high, when 9th grade was still at junior high. This was the year before 9th grade went to high school, if that tells you my age. Or the year, I don't know how it happened. There was a kid that was way too old to be there. Or maybe it had just swapped over. I think it had just swapped over. He was supposed to be in the 9th grade. Oh, no. He was in the 9th grade in junior high and failed and was supposed to go. Man, I don't remember how it went. He was way too old to be there, is what I do remember. And he's a big tall kid. He's a bully. He was driving a car already, which I don't know if he should have been or not. But man, this is like the middle 80s, 86, 87, 88, somewhere along in there. And if you guys know where the laundromat is and the junior high is, right behind there's a little car wash. The car wash still worked at the time. So anybody that had a problem after school, you would go to the car wash and fight. Hell, it wasn't no big deal for me to walk home. Birch Street, what is that, a mile away? Cut across Tractor Supply parking lot, go through the park, Tractor Supply, past the bank, past the casino, through the apartments, I'm home. No big deal, miss the bus. Go watch a fight. So this great big dude just kept on messing with a friend of mine at the time. Little short, stocky dude. He didn't mess with nobody, but he sure didn't take no shit. Like he would just kind of be quiet for a minute out of nowhere. He just had enough. Pow! He just knock you on your ass. Seen him do it lots of times. Never did it to me. He was my buddy. Why would I? So this big dude, boy, he's got his brother, he's got his friend. They're all, I don't know if they come over from the high school. I don't know what happened, but he just kept calling him out. I think the dude, I don't know what, he finally set up a ride. He lived way out in the country, so he missed the bus. He was stuck. He finally set it up. He's like, look, I've had enough. It's what's going to happen. Back then, we still fought. We still put our dukes up and went, hand to hand, mano y mano. That means hand to hand, by the way, not man to man. Mi mano. They go hand to hand. Well, this dude, the big dude, he's just like circling him, standing over him, just talking. And I was like, I know this dude will knock him out. Why hasn't he done it yet? And I'm just kind of, and I'm studying him, I'm studying my buddy. And he's got his hand wrapped around something. And I'm like, what? I didn't really pay attention. Well, I saw him, he had a lighter. He was kind of looking this way. And the dude just like circling like right here. And they kind of went around each other. Well, he had that lighter and he struck it. And he struck it. And he struck it. And that third time, I guess that dude heard it. So instead of looking like him, he looked down at the lighter. Because the dude was, kind of like out to the side, just kind of striking it. When he struck it that third time, that dude looked. Here comes the Pain Express. Boom! And that dude, like he was all, and he looked down. He found what he was looking for. Hit him right between the eyes. That dude went up. Boom! Down. Rolled over. Was jarred. Caught this other dude right above the belly button. Like bent him over. Big dude stood up. Little dude still bent over, rear back, and punched him right in the knee and folded the dude's knee backwards. Folded his left knee backwards. Fight was over. That was it. Big dude or little dude hit the big dude once, knocked him over, got hit, punched him in the knee. Fight was over. Dude was on crutches forever. I said, "Oh my God, I'll never, ever, ever, ever forget that." I've been in one situation in my whole life at a bar, which I should have been, and I still smoke. And I pulled that lighter out, and I was like, "This is how it's gonna have to go. This is how it's gonna end. It's gonna be my night." Didn't want to fight. Get the hell off of me. Walk that way. This ain't. I mean, if that's what you want, you can have it. But this ain't the night I want it to be. Nothing ever came of it. Dude just blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. The car wash fight. 21 minutes. These videos getting longer and longer and longer. But I enjoy hanging out with you guys. So if you enjoy my stories, I hope you do. Tell a friend. Hit a like. I don't know. Apparently, a like puts it more into the whatever it is verse out there, and then more people see it, and then more people have the option to skip or subscribe. I don't know what you guys are going to do. I'm just having a good time and visiting with you guys. Alrighty, I'm going to work. I'm going to be the best plumber I can be. 22 minutes by the time I hit end. Hello to everybody that watches all the time. Blake, I'll see you guys tonight if you work. See you guys.